Hello, welcome to Past the Remote, the TV show podcast here on CBC. I'm of course Joe. You can find me on Twitter, Halftime Joe. All my various social medias is that as well. And right here next to me, not physically, but it is Mitch.
What's up?
And you can find him on Twitter and the various social medias at Mitch692. You know, we gotta,
Especially Vera.
especially that, and people are actually following him on that every time we say
They
it.
do. They do.
Yeah. A little bit of housekeeping just before we get to anything else. Of course, patreon.com/comicbookcast is the place to be, as I would say, because we just put up an audio commentary for the 100th episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There is a update post out there for the public to see everything you need to know about what's happening for the revamped Patreon. 2 audio commentaries, a film, and a TV show. 1, 2 topics cast, as I like to call them, which is just a show where we get topics, whether from us or from you. And, of course, the producer credits, as you already saw them, they will have been shown, and hopefully they're not in 12 frames per second. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be. They're going to be in the regular standard 30 frames per second, because at a standard. And, just look forward to the content that is going to be coming out for Patreon this month. Of course, we still have Pacific Rim to do, and we have 2 topic shows. So if you are at the $10 or above tier, even though that's the only last tier.
Above?
There's not an above tier, but if you want to pledge $15, you get the $10 tier and nothing else. But some people have done that. So if you're at the $10 level tier, you can go listen to that. And also, if you're at the $5 or the $10 level, there is an RSS feed on the side of the Patreon page, which you can listen to it on the go. You don't necessarily have to go on the webpage or the app or what, yada yada yada. You can literally get that RSS feed and put it into your favorite podcast players or iTunes. So there's that. Also, of course, Google us, because that's how you'll find everything. Literally, SoundCloud,
Haven't you
iTunes.
said Google already?
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
No. That's how you find everything. Like I said, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, the everything that you need to know from us. Of course, updates continuing on Twitter as it happens. Please rate us, review us on iTunes. Yeah, because we're trying to put that out there. Also, if you're on SoundCloud, can you comment? I know some people necessarily haven't. A lot of people are following us, which is nice. But I'd rather, can we get some comments on there? Just curious as to who's actually using SoundCloud as their main thing, because some people still love SoundCloud as their main podcast format and music format. So with that, I think that's gonna be it. So we are gonna get into the first piece of news, which is gonna be talking about Marvel's Luke Cage Season 2 premiere date. Wow. Like
June 22nd.
I can't believe it's that close.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I've been one of those people saying that the 4 main shows are all going to be out this year, and it's like I'm so far halfway justified.
So we're gonna get Iron Fist this year too, and Daredevil.
I'd imagine so. Because you look at how close Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are filming.
Yeah.
And how close it's 3 months. So say if Daredevil comes out in like August or September, you would have Iron Fist in December.
Oh, that'd be great, because I would love to see Daredevil Season 3, of course. I would love for somebody to fix Iron Fist, because that show, Season 1, wasn't necessarily the best.
Apparently they have fixed it. I don't know.
Thankfully. Of course, we'll get into some of that talk later when we talk Jessica Jones Season 2. But as for Luke Cage, I think the consensus, not even with just us two, but a lot of people, is that the first half of Luke Cage is great. The second half with Diamondback, not so much. So
absolute booty.
Yeah, here's hoping that Season 2 can fix that in a sense and maybe have a more unison season and just.
Oh, it's not even a case of unison. It's just be more focused.
Okay, yeah.
Just have more of a focus.
Because
I
think everybody just loved Mahershala Ali as Cottonmouth, which I forget the character's name, but I just know that's like his villain name. And I think people just loved him so much that when we got Diamondback, it was such a downgrade in terms of not only acting because one was more serious and more in line with what we wanted, and one was way more cartoony. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what the choice was for that. It was horrific.
it definitely felt like almost two different seasons because it had those two tones where it was more serious and dramatic in the beginning, and this is what we're looking for, and then it just went super CW-ish in a way. Even though,
Yeah, yeah. It's probably the best way to put it.
yeah. So here's hoping Luke Cage season two. Any expectation? Not expectations. Any theories?
I
Expectation?
expect I expect Danny Rand and the Heroes for Hire.
Okay,
That's what I
that'd be
expect.
cool. I mean,
Um,
that'd be cool.
with the way Jessica Jones has gone, I'd expect more Misty Knight with the
Yeah,
arm. Well, we know she has the arm now. We saw it in Defenders.
yeah.
I'd expect her to step up a little bit. Probably bring in, what's her name? The girl from Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah. The one his sidekick, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
What's her name? You're the one who liked her a lot.
I did. It's gone. It's
Here, we're gonna Google this right quick. IMDb, quick IMDb search. Here we are. Colleen Wing.
that's still on Clean Wing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who plays her? What's her name?
Jessica.
Jessica Henwick. That's
Yes.
the one. Fun fact: she was in Star Wars and
She,
Game of Thrones.
yeah, I was about to say also Game of Thrones. I think that's where more people know her from.
I mean, in Star Wars, she was in 2 frames in the X-wing. That's about it.
Very true. Very true.
Um, yeah, I'd expect more from those two. Like,
Yep.
more step the women up, the female characters up.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, I don't know. I'm not a massive Luke Cage guy, so I don't really know what I should expect or should want from the character.
Oh,
Really.
well, I should want some character development, as you would.
I mean, yeah, obviously, I'm more talking about
Yeah,
the
because the characters and like what they could bring from comics and stuff like that. Me, I don't know. I'm not too much of a Luke Cage fan, but I do hope they can work it out well with bringing in Danny Rand if he is being brought in, because hopefully they make him more likable in this one.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure after Iron Fist and Defenders, they're like, yeah, we got to switch it up with Danny. So
I think that's always the plan. Defenders just had the of being written and filmed virtually at the same time.
okay.
So they couldn't really change Danny's character from season to season.
Yeah. All right. Going on to the next piece of news. We're talking Cloak and Dagger pilot reactions from South by Southwest. Now,
And it's good. Thank the Lord.
yeah, I mean, people were just saying they were so invested in it. Here's some. Let me read off some Twitter reactions right quick. It says the two young leads are immensely good. They'll be the reason to watch. I'm not gonna read the ads or whatever. I'm just gonna read the reactions. Just saw the pilot. OMG, 10 out of 10. So they're saying it's really good. They'll definitely be watching the show. Really smart, mature, visually accomplished Marvel show. And I can't wait to watch more. It's super fun to having Jeff Loeb on another YA superhero show. So, I mean, those are just some of it. And, you know, it's hard to trust first reactions in anything. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are so hyped up about being invited, you know, be included when I went to go see BVS.
Like they're not being invited here. It's South by Southwest. Like they could go and watch it.
True, I technically went to go and watch BVS as well, and we all got hyped up. But I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad show. I think it's really a good show. I just think you should always be careful with first reactions. Cause
Yeah, you should never take them as gospel. It's always like, oh, that's cool.
we've seen it
like
over time and time.
You shouldn't really take test screenings
that
as fact.
Yeah.
Because obviously things can change. So.
Exactly. But since, you know, seeing as me and you are really looking for the show, I'm sure a lot of other people are, but specifically me and you, I would say for us this is really a way to kind of open up more about the show and saying there should be like a season 2, you should have this and that, because it's having good things said about it, so that means we can be properly hyped about it, I would say.
And I've seen some comparisons to Jessica Jones from it. Like not like more so in like tone and the seriousness of it.
Well, season 1 I'd assume, right?
Oh, I mean both. They both are suited to each other.
I think season 2 is different than season 1. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I mean, if it is,
but it's that kind of it takes itself that it takes itself seriously, and it doesn't shy away from anything. And some bits I've seen, it says they don't shy away from like the issues these kids have
Yeah.
and the issues in their lives. Like some teen dramas would kind of sugarcoat it a little bit. These go full into it because the issues are the characters.
Well, that is definitely one way to take a series is to do that side of it and to be a little bit more serious and dramatic. And this isn't gonna be a campy Marvel show or anything like that. And I feel like there hasn't necessarily always been a campy Marvel show, even in Humans to an extent that necessarily
I think
wasn't supposed to be campy.
Humans was campy,
But it wasn't supposed to be.
I mean,
It just turned out that way because it was bad.
No, I mean humans are campy in general. Let's be honest.
Okay, well there you go.
Like the cons, they're pretty campy. Shield season 1 was campy.
It's true,
but
it just feels like we haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, I mean, any time a suit's on screen is kind of campy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess I never thought of it like that. Like just.
Cause it's just the campiness of superhero. It's just the nature of it. Like
Okay.
you can't ever get away from it. You just have to.
Okay.
You have to roll with it.
Yeah. So, since these are some of your favorite characters, any last things you want to say about this? Expectations in a way? Anything like? I don't know.
I'm still in the same spot. Really.
Okay.
Expectations are really high.
So
unfortunately,
it can't get any higher, basically.
No. I'm setting myself up for disappointment. I can feel it, but
okay.
It kind of makes me feel better that there's positive and there's not. But as again, it's only first reaction, so I'll take it with a grain of salt. It's just like, oh, I still got like 2-3 months to go.
All right. Going on to the next piece of news, we are going to be talking about Legion Season 2 trailer. Did you end up watching this?
I did. I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, because the whole you don't want to be spoiled. Like, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm gonna watch it anyway. It's not much point. But plus, their trailers, the way they cut, because obviously, what's real question mark? Yeah. It's like, what's the point in watching a trailer? And this, like, again, this trailer is like, didn't have to watch it because it's just a bunch of flashing images. Doesn't really tell you much. But
so
it's well done. It's what I did.
Nothing really popped up or popped out at you.
I mean, everything popped out at me.
Yeah. Because it was all flashing in your face.
It was just kind of what I expected, really, especially from like a Legion trailer. The Shadow King looks good.
Yeah, and so like quick in terms of. I mean, we say quick, but to be fair, they could have had this actor ready a while back ago, and it only just came out like a month or two ago when we just talked about it.
So they must have had it been a while ago.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be able to get this far. I don't even know what to say about it. It was a well done trailer. Yeah. It gave me nothing, which I completely expected.
Well, that is the show, right? The show is just like kind of messes with your mind. It is. When did it come out? April 3rd. So
yeah.
And when is April 3rd? In 3 weeks. Starting tomorrow, 3 weeks, and we are gonna be in Legion Season 2, which I remember I was so hesitant about watching the first season. I watched like the first episode in bits and pieces, which isn't necessarily a good way to watch a TV show, which is why I was like, I didn't really like it.
You left for ages, didn't you? Like, we're about halfway through the season, and you're like, I still haven't watched all of the first episode.
I waited till it got done, and then I binged it. And I was... Ooh.
Did you wait till it was done?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I binged it, like, until it was done.
Huh. Did we start this show after Legion finished then? Must have done.
I just remember you were really telling me about it, and I was like, so I watched the first episode bits and pieces when it was like halfway, and I was like, and then once it got done, I was like, all right, I'll sit down, I'll watch it, let's see what happens. And I did. And it was
it's definitely one of those. I liked watching it week to week. I felt it worked. It definitely works better binge watching.
Yeah, it was because a lot of it. I was like, oh man, I couldn't imagine waiting. Like,
but I mean, it wasn't that bad because you could talk to people and be like, oh my god, what the hell is this? What's
that's 2018, right? That's modern. Like everybody just wants to binge everything. I'm one of those people. I just want to binge it on my own time. Have it all come out and then I binge it.
What year were you born? I know it's off topic. What year were you born?
95.
So you are a millennial. Right, I
Yeah,
can't say
I've
that then.
always said that I was a millennial.
Well, no, because they changed where
Uh,
millennials are now. It's like between 1980 and 96.
ooh,
So
so no longer 97s are millennials. Yes, because they're so entitled. It's all 2 years.
they after 96 they haven't got a generation name. They're entitled
They don't
generation.
deserve. They're the entitled generation.
But
Yeah.
I imagine, well, I suppose yeah, but I'd imagine it's because I complain about it anyway. So.
They're like, we're entitled to not have our own name.
Mm. But anyway, I was gonna make a like an untitled generation joke because,
Yeah. Nah,
but
I'm a
that's out
millennial.
the window now.
Millennials are great. The millennials taking over. 2018. I don't know.
And you also now know how old Joe is.
Yeah, I mean, I've never. I feel like I've said my age a lot of
You
times.
probably have.
Yeah, I've also said how much I hate clowns.
Yeah, which
I was just
I never. This is really. I never understand the clown. Uh,
they're killers.
this-
They're serial killers. All right, all right. With that, so we have more time to talk about Jessica Jones and, of course, the 100th episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're gonna get into our last piece of news, which is gonna be talking about the Star Wars live-action TV series and its update in that Jon Favreau will be writing it and executive producing it.
This is cool. We don't know what it is, so I can't really care.
It's true.
It's cool Favreau's on it, but that's as far as I can go.
Let us see what TV Line, who we are getting the news from, has to say about it. Just the Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau just say, "Hey, we're excited. You know, John brings a great mix. Yada yada yada." He's saying if you told 11-year-old me I would be doing this, he wouldn't believe it. You're right. There's nothing necessarily there in terms of what it's gonna be about, but we can always theorize because what's the point of the internet if you can't have theories? What do you think it's gonna be? If it's just one TV series,
I don't know.
it's in continuity, it's in canon type of stuff.
Yeah, question mark. Quote canon.
True.
I don't know. This is Star Wars is a really hard one for me. What I'd actually want.
Gotta think budget. You gotta think a small story since it's a TV series and it can't be world ending or something similar to the movies.
Well, it's kind of hard to do a world-ending story in Star Wars because it's a universe.
It's true. I personally would love just him to do a Sith TV series, but I doubt it. Like something around the Sith.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
Look,
that. That's probably going to be what
tied into
Ryan
the
Johnson's
movies.
doing.
Yeah.
With the old, no doubt being the Old Republic, or one of them's doing the Old Republic.
Or they could pick up the storyline they left off in the Force Awakens with the Knights of Ren, and you don't necessarily have to have Luke or any one of them.
Knights of Ren would be cool. Yeah,
you could recast. Besides, you didn't even see their face, but you can recast the people who are going to play the Knights of Ren and just have it follow them. And you could, since it is Disney, I don't see why you couldn't take some of the clips from the Force Awakens. Like, you don't necessarily have to have.
No, I don't like that. I find it's cheap when you have like clips of movies and TV shows.
Okay, well then you redo it or something. But it's just you don't have to have Hamill and Driver in this per se.
See, I think it'll be you kind of would have to have Adam Driver.
Okay, maybe the first episode, but
because the Knights of Ren are his.
I would.
But then again, see, this is the problem. If the not Return Jedi, if the Last Jedi didn't have him get rid of his mask, you could have just had a guy in a mask.
Yeah, continue to be Kylo Ren. Yeah.
I suppose you could set it between.
Well, I'd assume it'd be back in the day when the Knights of Ren went to go destroy the temples, and I'd assume he'd have the Hitler effect, where he wants to go get the artifacts, the greatest artifacts in the universe and stuff like that, and that's the Knights of Ren type of thing.
Yeah, but have they done that in the movies?
Well, they got a bunch of artifacts, and you can chronicle how they got them, and I don't know, but at the same time, it's like, is it worth it? I don't know. I personally would want to see it.
No, the problem having it set between
The movies.
like when that event happened and the movies we're currently up to is the question of, well, where were they? You should have surely they should have been with Kylo.
Yeah, and look, that's why Kylo never he took off his mask in Force Awakens and he destroyed it in Last Jedi. You're right, but in the show he doesn't have to take it off, right?
He hasn't got it anymore.
No, but in the show, if it's in the past,
Yeah, but that see, I don't know. I think I'd have to have it
you want it in the present.
between the current movies.
I mean, it is coming out in 2019 on the Disney streaming service. And when is the last Star Wars movie coming out? Is it 2019 or 2020? Entirely sure.
2019 is Solo's this year, isn't it?
Let me see. Ooh, wait, The Force Awakens come out last year?
No, Force Awakens was 2 years ago.
Star Wars.
No, 3 years ago. Now,
episode 9, 2015. Wow.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 9, December 20th. Oh, yeah, because...
It's because you got Solo coming out this year, but it's not in December.
I forget that The Last Jedi came out in 2017, December. It's just it's December and it's so close.
It's been 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, I was okay with that movie. I didn't necessarily love it, so that's probably why. I probably need a rewatching of that movie just because it just, I don't know, I just felt it was kind of like, okay. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed a lot of parts of it.
It's got a lot of problems. The whole Finn Rose things.
It's very shoehorned, it feels like. And I did like that storyline. It's just that it felt like you broke up too much of other stuff.
There's no... It doesn't need to be that. You can take it out and the film still happens.
True. But in terms of the show, if it is coming, I don't think they say how many episodes it would be. Let's just assume
it'll probably be like 8 to 13.
Yeah, let's assume miniseries type of thing.
It's probably gonna be like a Mandalorian / bounty hunter show.
I doubt they'd do Rebels because they already have that as an animated show, and I feel like
I was gonna say Rebels is done. No.
Yeah, so I doubt they'd do it in general. I just would love to see something with the Force. I mean, I remember I wanted a movie. Go ahead.
Is there any way they could do like events following Rebels?
I mean, it led up to A New Hope, and the Rebels is like all the way 30 years ago.
Yeah, but is there any plot thread they could take and carry
from
on?
like the OG movies? I don't know.
No, from Rebels.
Oh, I haven't necessarily caught up, but I need to caught up. That's why.
I was gonna say, from what's just finished, is there anything they could like carry on from?
I wish I would have watched the finish of it. I didn't necessarily catch up. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the show though. It is something.
I never watched any of it. So.
Yeah, so I can't say per se, but listen, I said I've been wanting the longest time a movie about like the OG Jedi, the first one, the first season, and all that kind of the temple stuff because I love that stuff, right?
The Old Republic one.
Nah. Maybe. I don't necessarily know too much. Look, I don't know too much of Expanded Universe, so when you say that, I kind of forget like what that was about. I forgot.
Oh, it's like the start of it, isn't it? That's what I thought.
Maybe. I just really...
it's set in that time period.
Like, I just want when there's no rebels, there's just this Jedi, and then you see who's the first Sith and stuff like that. I mean, isn't Rian Johnson making his own trilogy of Star Wars movies?
Yeah, but I think the likelihood of that being Old Republic is quite high.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want more Jedi. I know a lot of people are tired of them, or maybe people are just tired of the Skywalkers. I'm not. I really love the Chosen One, and they kind of messed that up. But I'm like,
I'm just tired of Star Wars, to be honest.
There's a lot of Star Wars, right?
Yeah. There's always been a lot of Star Wars. It's never like it's gone away. It's just like I'm kind of once Episode 9 comes out, if I'm kind of done until the next saga movie comes out. I mean, I'm still gonna watch all the others. I kind of have to.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly gonna be like waiting for them to come out.
Let's see. Okay, the Old Republic was a galactic government that existed prior to the establishment of the Galactic Republic. Before the Clone Wars, with the support of the Jedi Order, the Republic engaged in multiple conflicts. I mean, maybe not necessarily this. I guess it's more of what am I trying to think of? Kind of like
you want like the origins.
Yeah, but I want like Jedi temples and all that because they destroyed it in The Last Jedi, and I really would have loved to see more of that. I did love how that happened in The Last Jedi. I know a lot of people hated it and like something the tree was important, whatever. I don't really know, but I would love to see more of that, like the teachings, and I'm just a fan of philosophy and stuff like that. So
see, I find it hard to want stuff like that when Star Wars is adamant that none of it matters.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like every saga movie, it's always kind of said like, let it go.
Which is
It
sad
is what
because,
it
like,
is.
have we really ever had a chance of seeing a lot of it? Like,
Well,
usually every movie's like,
it's,
let it
it's
go.
not really sad because it's not that important.
I mean, I don't know. To me, it'd be
Like,
interesting. It'd be a
like,
little
I
different.
mean, yes, it could be interesting. It's not essential. You don't need to know it.
I mean, it's true.
You don't need to have it, and that's kind of what the movies say. But people get mad about that. So.
I mean, I don't know. I just would love to see that story, just because that's my kind of,
Mm.
that's my,
I just,
genre.
I struggle. I'm struggling to care about Star Wars. That's
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. All right. With that, I think we're gonna be done. Unless you have anything else about
no,
what the TV show
no.
should be. We're like we said,
Like,
a lot of
if
Star
the
Wars.
show seems interesting to me, I'll watch it. I'll probably still watch it
Yeah,
anyway because of this.
John Favreau.
But yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I'll watch the pilot for Favreau.
True. Very true. All right. Going on now to the shows of the week. We are gonna start off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 12, the 100th episode. I just hit my mic. But of course, we did an audio commentary about this. We said a lot of things, but I think it really it is just a perfect 100th episode, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is definitely just a perfect 100th episode. I guess some points to talk about this. Of course, there's Coulson and will he die? I say yes. You say maybe now, right?
No, I never changed my mind.
Oh,
I
so you
said,
don't think he's gonna die?
we said this like 3 times in the commentary. I think he's gonna die. It's the logical conclusion to
Okay.
his character
Yeah,
arc.
but I don't know. I just remember when was it? Was it? It wasn't Pastor Remote, but I don't know if it was last episode or the one before that. But I just remember you saying you didn't think he was gonna die. You're like you can't have Shield without Coulson.
You can't expect me to think that far back.
Yeah, but
That's
I just
way too.
the only thing I remember is you saying you can't have Shield without Coulson. And I thought, well, you could have Daisy, and but in
I mean,
turn,
you can't really have Shield without Coulson. It won't be Shield if it is Daisy, even though she's supposed to release Shield. It won't be the same. It won't be the same Shield without.
if they keep it
But
going, but if the series
that's
ends,
if they keep
yeah,
it going,
which wonder when we'll be able to tell whenever the upstarts are.
Around May.
Yeah,
May.
whenever that is, and they'll be able to tell us.
I imagine they'll get at least one. To be honest, they'll get one more. They'll
One
get
more
a sixth
season? You don't. I always felt like 5 seasons was good enough for a show. I felt like you didn't need to go more.
It's good enough, but I think they might do that. Let's see if people are still attached after
True to
the
these
fifth.
characters. Yeah.
Like after we write a conclusion for everything, like are people interested in their stories going forward? If not, we have ones. Make it a half season, and then make it kind of a bit like how Scrubs did it.
Yeah.
Where they stopped and they came back for that really shitty thing, but don't make it really shitty. Make it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of do something like that. And if people don't care, then you've got a half season that's a little bit extra.
Yeah.
If people care, you can carry and make more money.
Yeah. All right. So going on about this episode, I would say, well, I said Yo-Yo will be benched. You said no, because this is kind of like where she's meant to be, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's.
Can you explain a little bit more about that, like of how this is where she's meant to be? Because that's in the comics, right? Where she doesn't have her hands.
I mean, she loses her arms in
Yeah.
the second issue of the first thing she's ever in. So how she's kept them this long, I don't know. But in the timeline currently, I haven't got a clue, really. But you're not supposed to have a clue what she's gonna be.
It's true. It's true. The show definitely changes a lot of things we think it's gonna happen.
Because I think they're just because it's the nature of TV and how stories work, they're at the end of the loop and they'll finish it, and then that's how they carry on the season.
Yeah.
Unless they can drag this out for the rest of the season, which I kind of hope they don't, but it'll be what it'll be if they do. So yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna do and how Yo-Yo's gonna carry on, but.
Yeah.
I assume she has to carry on purely because she ends up with Casillas.
See, I just assume that her and Mac are gonna leave.
Yeah. I think that'll probably be their end of arc
Yeah.
conclusion.
Yeah, they're gonna go start a family, yada yada yada, and it'll almost be because I feel like the loop is not gonna happen. Like they said there was a loop, but I feel they're gonna break the loop somehow.
I think we might go on that loop maybe one or two more times, and then their third attempt, their third time lucky.
Oh, so you think we're gonna go back to the future?
I think they're gonna try certain events, but it's not gonna be like another 10 episodes
You think we're gonna see
or another
Cassius
five.
again?
I mean, I think you have to see Cassius.
You don't think that arc is just finished and somehow they're gonna? I mean, the
No.
arc is still kind of going because Deke is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they have to. Deke's got to go back, and I think they're gonna. It might be over a course of 2 episodes. I think they're just gonna knock it out and be like, right, we solved everything in this future, so they can carry on, or we saved the future. We now have to go save the past thing. I think that's what they're gonna do.
Does he have to go back though?
Yes, because it's a paradox.
Oh, okay, okay. You think it's just kind
You
of
can't have spoilers. You can't have your grandkid walking around before you've had the kid that is the parent to the grandkid.
oh, and then it's one of those things where the paradox hasn't happened yet. It's one of those you still have time to change it.
I mean, the paradox has happened because Dick's in the present.
Yeah, but what's the paradox? Is he the paradox that doesn't lead, like, breaks the loop? Maybe.
Well, no, a paradox doesn't break the loop. The paradox is the loop.
So him coming back, you think was as a way to continue the loop?
Possibly.
You
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it'll break it?
No.
Because it doesn't seem like he was meant to be there, and somehow he got there still.
I mean, This could very well be the end. He could very well be the thing that ends it.
Yeah.
Because they never mentioned him being there before. And
I mean, like you said, you even said, sorry, but you even said each loop is different.
Yeah, but like he can't stay in the present.
You think he's gonna fade at some point?
No, I think they're just gonna go back and save the future, and then they're gonna come back to the past.
Oh, so you think they're gonna make it happen where? To be fair,
They're all gonna go back to the future reference,
yeah,
and then do everything there. They're gonna kill Cassius. I keep wanting to call him Cassilius. That's Doctor Strange.
You think they're going back? Wow, I don't for some reason.
I mean, I said it about 5 times that I think they're gonna go back.
Yeah, I don't. It just shocks me they continue to say. I just don't think that. But at the same time,
Deke can't stay
yeah, I guess
in
so.
the present. They just had a rip in the time-space continuum. He is a paradox.
Be fair, this, I know you hate me bringing up like a super or something like that, but they had something similar to this where Future Trunks came back, and then
wasn't that?
No, it's also in Super because there's Goku Black and stuff like that. But it's just in terms of a character who's in the future, he comes back. They go back to the future to go save the day. But at the same time, it's probably a different future, isn't it? Because if they go back to that time they were exactly at right as they left, Cassius is dead, isn't he?
No, Cassius is still alive.
Oh, he's still alive. Yeah, then okay, never mind. I thought he was dead.
Because Cassius is in on the loop because he has Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
So he obviously he has to play a part. They have to stop him from getting Yo-Yo.
You think they're gonna kill Cassius in the present?
They're going to do something. I have no idea what they're going to do, but they're gonna have to go back to the future at some point.
That'll be interesting. And if they go back, it has to be at that single point that they left, because if they go a little bit before that, they'll cause another paradox with them still being there before they even left. You know what I mean? To have two versions of themselves.
No, because I think the way. No, because there's two versions of Yo-Yo, isn't there?
Yeah, there's two versions of Yo-Yo already.
Because the way it's been going on so far is each attempt to happen, it ends in the same thing, but the next loop's different.
Oh man, it's time travel's so confusing.
What they've done, they've really made it so you can't really predict what's going on or what's going to happen. It's definitely you have one loop, it ends in the same spot, but then think of like. If you get a slinky, you had the bottoms always in the same spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you fold it, like you had your different loops, and it all loops around that one point, and that's kind of what I think is going on. You're gonna have infinite possibilities going on, but
there's always one ending.
Yeah, that one singular point is the world being cracked.
How many times do you think the loop has happened? You think that was the first time or the second time? Because no, that Yo-Yo in the future talked about doing that once before.
It's an infinite amount of time. Okay. They haven't stated it for a reason. You don't know how long they've been here. It's a bit like how Doctor Strange's third act went. Like, he could have been there for 1,000 years for all you know.
Oh yeah, okay. It's just a little bit confused me in a sense of if they go back to the future, will it be that same future they came from, or will it be a different future? But it'll be like that. It'll be the same thing. Cassius is there and everything, but there's just another version of Deke there, you know.
Yeah, and
it's just
I kind of it's really a tropey and kind of cheesy, but I hope they do the whole thing of we have to avoid ourselves.
Yeah. That's what I imagine would happen, right? They'll see versions of themselves from that, and then they're like, So I'm trying to think of like moments that happened in the first like 10 episodes that that couldn't be explained. They're like, oh, how'd that happen? Who turned off the lights? Because that could have been them.
Yeah,
the second time they went to the.
But here's the thing: you can do that, and it doesn't have to match up to what we've already seen, because you can just say it's a different loop.
It's true. It's very true.
Like, I've said it a couple of weeks ago that like the way, or I think it might have been a couple of months ago, the way they've done it is very clever. Because they can be really lazy, but as long as they don't get lazy with it, it can come off. Yeah. They can do the bare minimum and still be really good.
I'm trying to remember of a show or a movie that did that, where two versions of themselves were in the same future, and they're like, who did that? And then it was them, you know, but just from the second time in the future.
Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Maybe, but I'm just thinking of like recent movies. I felt like I've seen something like that recently. I always find that really enjoyable when they have to like avoid themselves, and they have to be, the first time around something happens that they couldn't explain that helped them out, but then when you realize the second time,
it's really tropey and really cheesy.
But I find it enjoyable. Yeah, I find it enjoyable too. All right, you know, we mentioned before we thought Deke was gonna be Fitz's son and with another woman, but really it's Fitz and Simmons' grandson. Mm-hmm. So we didn't think about that being their grandchildren. I don't know why we didn't. Why did we think son, when to be fair it was like 100 years apart or something? Like it was 100 years. You know, they can't.
Man, how old is Fitz? How old are they all going to be? Because they're going to have to time travel the same way Fitz did, surely. So Fitz is going to be like what 130, like 200 odd years old by the time.
200, yeah, because he did it. He's going to do it twice.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Unless they just find another monolith. Which is what I kind of thought that they were going to do with the ones they had there, but I guess they blew it up. Yeah. Yeah.
There must be some way of doing it.
Yeah. All right. Of course, we thought Fitz and Simmons' wedding was perfect. Those characters have grown up so much, and we've grown with them. We've been invested in them for about 5 years now, and it's so gratifying that this has finally happened. It's like it's almost there are kind of kids, and they're like, oh, our kids finally got married because we've been with them for so long. We're just hoping they'd get together sooner or later. You know what I'm saying?
And unlike the show, I never thought I'd see the day.
Really?
I never thought it would happen.
To be fair, I never thought it would happen either, just because I always thought they were going to get together. I just never thought a marriage would happen. I always thought they were so much always on adventures that they never have time to get married.
Because to me, yeah, that was my kind of thinking. To me, the marriage is the end of the arc. Like that's how you end a season, and or that's how you end a show completely. Yeah. It's like, would they get married? Would they not? Are we going to show it? No, but they did it. It was a nice. It was a payoff. It was done well.
So possible still Thunderbolts with that general lady.
Yeah, I'm certain it's Thunderbolts. If not, it's something like Thunderbolts. Yeah. You know, they have Absorbing Man. They have Ruby, whatever her name is. They probably got other people. So
yeah. I'm trying to think of what else have we missed. I think that's a lot of it. I mean, to be fair, the whole question of is it real or is it not? Because you did bring it up to me in the audio commentary, and also in general.
I mean, I tried to bring it up to you, but you kept going, but it's not.
You know, I guess because I had a revelation recently. When you mentioned to me first, what if in the end it ends up not being real? I didn't like that idea. I thought it was very anticlimactic. I was like, because I thought they would just kind of like it just be like that, like a snap. But if they kind of slowly go into it, like which is kind of what they're proposing here, I might be better okay with it. Like Lost. I felt like Lost went slowly with it. And I know a lot of people don't like the ending. I actually kind of enjoy it. Um,
I need to rewatch the ending of Lost.
I mean, I think you need to rewatch the show.
I mean, yeah, I don't remember liking the ending at all.
I remember people
just
hating
because
it.
I mean, yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah, the whole like they're in heaven or something.
Oh, I don't even think they actually are in heaven. I'm pretty certain they came out and said that's not the case.
Oh, they're in purgatory. That's what it was.
I don't even think it's that. I don't even think they're done.
Really? Wow, I don't remember.
Yeah. It's so slapped on and makes no sense, that ending.
Right. Well, it is on Hulu now. If everybody wants to know, they took it off Netflix, went to Hulu, which sucks because Hulu's not in the outside of the US.
I'll just have to find some.
I mean, it could be on Netflix UK. I actually don't know. I just know they took it off of Netflix US.
No. We haven't had Lost in the UK for years.
So, I guess that'll be the ending topic of like, is it real? Isn't that there's that whole thing with forget his character's name.
Peterson,
but it's like Deathlock. I just remember the actor's name, J. Augustine Richards. He brings it up to Coulson, like, are you sure this is just not all like in your head? Like I'm just a doctor in front of you trying to save you, and you're just trying to make sure you're not dead. Like that was just perfect. I think we mentioned that already, at least on audio commentary. But for this, like, if it ends up not being real, how could you see it playing out? Like, will it slowly break apart?
I just want like that slow fade, just that slow fade out. Don't break anything apart. Don't do anything like that. Make it nice.
No, not
kind of like a somber.
Not like a break apart, like a mirror type of thing, but break apart as in, Coulson just starts like things are fading away, and he doesn't remember it being there.
Right. This is what you do. Right. Yeah. You have him act like he's having a heart attack or something, but he's getting defibrillated, and he wakes up, and then it's just like, oh, see, he's like, I have all this stuff in my head, and it's like, no.
Something I thought could be possible. I don't know if I've seen it before, but probably have because I'm remembering something. Was they end the show? They all have like they're out for drinks, and then everybody just starts fading. Like that's just a simple way of doing it, right? Like
I mean, you could.
They're out for drinks.
Despise goodbye again.
Yeah, except everybody's fading.
Yeah,
and he's the last one.
I suppose you could. Yeah,
that'd be so sad.
I mean, it was sad the first time.
It was sad the first time for sure.
But then again, that doesn't really go in line with a possible season 6.
Look, I think it's real. You think there's a possibility of it not being real, right?
I think there's definitely a possibility of it not being real. There's no other reason why you would throw that question out there, unless you're literally just doing it for a laugh.
No, I thought it was just doing it just to add an emotional, like to show that Coulson wants to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people saying you have nothing to live for. There's characters who say that, like to the heroes, like they don't even care about you, yada yada yada, and then he has to realize that he cares. I thought it's thrown out there for Coulson specifically, not necessarily for the show.
No, it's definitely thrown out there for the show.
You think
so? I mean, the Coulson is the show.
I mean, really. I don't know. I just think it was there to prove that Coulson wants to live because there was that whole thing.
You don't throw that question out there just for a character. You throw it out there for everything.
I guess we'll see. It ends in what, like 10 episodes, 12 episodes, like in 2 months it'll end. So we'll see.
I don't necessarily think everything's all going to be just like a fever dream. Essentially, it's possible. Right. If it happens, I won't be shocked.
All right. With that. That's going to be it for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the 100th episode. We loved it. We're fans of the show. Yet underrated, consistent. I've always said it for a while now because it is. It's consistently great and underrated. So, going on now to the headline, to the big daddy.
Just before you do that, shout out to Joe Pekaski, the creator showrunner of Cloak and Dagger. Liked my tweet.
Oh, he probably just did that. Nice.
My phone just went off and I was like, ooh.
I say we link him this time stamp. Hey, how's it going, man? All right. Going on to now, Jessica Jones Season 2. First off, how do you even feel about it?
I fucking love this series.
Okay. Yeah, me?
That's literally it. That's just how I feel about it.
I liked it. I don't think I necessarily love it. I think it's just how the storyline for Jessica was just kind of, for me, but I enjoyed the season. I've seen some people say it's boring. I don't necessarily see that, but I
People
definitely.
said the first season Jessica Jones is boring. And it's just like an old school detective noir story. Like,
Did, tell me once again, because I don't remember season one all that specifically. Does she narrate in season one?
I can't remember.
Because I felt like this was the first time she narrated. It felt like a detective series. It did, like, like a mystery. They're trying to figure
Yeah.
out the mystery in a way, which was interesting, and that is her character and all that. I did love kind of her little origin in this episode, how she came up with aliens and stuff like that. It's just the thing for me was that it just was good. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so.
I mean, if you think it's good, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'd say
Well,
enjoyed
then
it.
how can it be a bad thing?
Because it doesn't feel like I feels like I maybe missed something, and maybe I should have loved it. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you don't have to love a show.
Okay, all right. We could. We'll put
If
it at that.
you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. No,
Yeah. All right. That's first impressions. Um, I don't know how you want to go down this by characters or by just what came up to you. What was the most like big thing, best thing about this for you?
I know I liked. It's the expansion of how Jessica and Trish are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Like it was, I don't remember it being right. It's not that I don't remember it. It might not have been that I caught onto it in the first season as much. Looking back on it, from what I can remember, it was there, but they really like elaborated on that they are essentially the same person. They're the same person from two different angles.
Yeah.
And I really like that aspect. I also like the fact that it didn't really have a villain. I don't think you can say this show has an outright bad guy.
It didn't have a Kilgrave. You're right.
I mean, it had a Kilgrave.
I mean, yeah, but it didn't. It did, which I loved him. I love David Tennant.
Literally had Kilgraves.
And yeah, multiple. It's that Clark and Lex Luthor effect, right? Two sides of the same coin. One thinks the other one is like, the human, and they want the power because they feel like they're worthy of it, as opposed to the hero who didn't want anything to do with it.
I suppose. I think it's a bit more personal.
I mean, I'm talking Smallville Superman, because that was a very personal thing.
I didn't watch that.
Okay, well, example, and this is also in comics too, everything, and this is like the first story that comes to my head is Superman as Clark and Lex, specifically in Smallville. And at the very end, Clark didn't want to be a hero. He didn't want the powers. He just wanted to live a life, but he got thrust into it, and he did all that. Well, Lex wanted that. He felt like he could have been a better hero because he knew what to do. And all that. And that felt like this. Trish felt like she could have been a better hero. She felt like Jessica wasn't up to her potential.
I don't think it's necessarily Trish feels like she could be better. It's she wants.
No, there's definitely moments where she says she could be better, and it's not a bad.
Yeah, I think that's more of an in the moment. I don't think she genuinely believes that.
Well, either or. I think that story of the two characters on the same side of the coin, one feels like she's the hero, even though she's gone through a lot of different like bad things going about it.
Well, they've both been gone.
True.
They've both gone through very. It's similar, but it's not. It's both to do with mothers and parents and families.
That's storytelling, isn't it? To get a trope or to get a thing, have it similar but be it different. That's storytelling. That's how you do it in the modern age. You take something, you go with it and make it different. Which I do love the difference in this, where over the season, you see that Jessica is like. I didn't think she was as emotional as that, like caring about her mom and stuff like that. And then
she's as emotional as she was in the first season in Defenders.
I didn't think she'd care about her mom. To be honest, she didn't at first.
Oh no, she would. I don't see why you wouldn't.
It's true. To be fair, I was so annoyed by the mom. I just wanted somebody to smack her because I knew she was bad.
But that's the thing, that you're not supposed to like the mother, because the mother is Jessica, like. Unchained.
No, that's exactly the point. This is not me hating the character because I thought the character worked well for the story. This is me being invested in the show and saying I hate the mom character because she always messed up Jessica's life.
Just quickly shout out to the writers for actually taking a character from the comics that has absolutely nothing to the name.
What was the character?
Just her mom.
Oh, yeah.
All her mom has in the comics is the name. there's nothing because she
See,
dies. You know nothing about her. They actually took that character and gave her something.
tell me something about Jessica for at least this that I might have missed. So the mom is Jessica's unhinged, right? But is the liquor the only thing that keeps Jessica like her temper tantrums and all that being like her mom at bay?
No, she's not. She doesn't have that temper.
Okay,
Well, she does have that temper her mum has,
but not to
but
the
obviously,
extent.
but where because obviously the mum was more like severely injured than Jessica
Oh, okay,
was.
okay, okay.
It's obviously had that more adverse effect on her. It's that's just her coping mechanism with like depression and obviously all that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's not necessarily if she stops drinking she's gonna like Hulk out on someone.
well, yeah.
But
That's because that's what it made it seem like, and I wasn't entirely sure. That's why I wanted to bring it up to you, in terms of that, because it definitely felt like the mom was stronger than Jessica, way
I mean,
stronger.
to be fair, it's as dumb as it sounds. For the first like 10 minutes of seeing the mum, I thought they were honestly going to do She-Hulk.
Oh,
I was
really?
convinced that was Jennifer Walters.
Oh, I didn't think about that actually.
And then kind of that as time went on, it's like, oh no, 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 it's mum.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I wanted to bring up some side characters, real quick. Malcolm and even forget the super's
Jerry,
name.
Jerry Ho. Oh no, I
Her
thought you
too.
were talking
I was talking about the super. I forget his name.
I can't remember his name for
I
the
remember
life
the
of me.
kid's name because they say it a
I
lot.
found those two really forgettable. Like
Really,
their only purpose is to kind of serve Jessica's story,
I
and apart from that, it's just like meh.
I completely am the opposite. I thought they were the best parts of this season. I thought
See, the best
Malcolm
part
made
of the
the most
season.
sense.
I'm not talking about Malcolm. I'm talking about the superintendent.
Oh, him. I actually liked him. I thought, you know
I
what?
love Malcolm. Malcolm's like the best thing in this
Yeah,
show.
okay, yeah, I agree. Especially towards the very end where he has like a talk between the both of them. It's
He's
like, I'm just done. I'm just
he
done.
scrubs up well as well. He
Yeah.
really scrubs up well. It's just
um, with the super, seeing as he's the new character in family, I'm a little bit glad they didn't do a typical thing where they introduce a new character. He seems nice and all that, but he's actually a bad. Like he's gonna be the villain or something like that. He's
yeah,
just trying to
there's
get
that
close.
ulterior motive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go that way, and it was just kind of a thing to bring Jessica back down because this whole kind of season is what is she? Is she a hero? Is she a
I mean,
vigilante?
that's everyone's arc, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
who are you,
yeah.
or who am I? Everyone has that same arc.
Is the super the guy, the criminal, or is he the father who's just trying to? Is Malcolm that dope addict, or is he a guy who's willing to do something with his life? Is Trish that crazy kind of whatever she was on? I don't even know what they called it.
She was on the same stuff. I don't think they ever called it anything. It was just the same stuff as Simpson.
Yeah, so it is
Which I don't
that
know
is
how I feel about them offing Nuke.
true.
It's very much in the same vein as the Ragnarok dealing with the Loki Odin plotline.
He did die super quick.
Yeah, it's like let's just get rid of that. Like done. But
Yeah, it is true. This whole season was about who you are, and you see it go like the whole each episode just continues to push in one direction. You would think something, but then they brings them to another. Like, I just love that the super and Vito, as they said it, was just a way to give Jessica like at the very end. She's just there eating dinner.
yeah, it's her attempt at like normalcy.
Yeah, and I think she's deserving of that. Which, when you look at Trish, and then she finds out she has powers, possibly. Which what is her powers? Acrobatics?
She's she's agile. She's really agile.
Because she just picked, made sure her phone didn't drop with her foot. So I was like, is she just like
I tell
really
you what,
acrobatic?
I'd love that power. I think
Yeah,
most people would these days like catch your phone with your foot.
I mean, I'm sure anybody just doesn't want to trip.
So
She has,
anyone with an iPhone would love that.
I'm sure she just also has like quick reflexes in a sense like that, right?
Yeah, she's. It's kind of supposed like Spider-Man. You have the reflexes and the
Yeah.
agility.
I kind of expected her to have powers eventually because I knew towards at least in the season I was watching, I was like, oh, she's gonna get powers at some point. You
Well,
can
I
feel
mean,
it.
yeah, she has powers in the comics.
Yeah, well, that too. That works. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that made
They're
sense.
obviously it's really different. Like they've kept like her motivation and the drive for
Yeah,
powers, but it's in the comics she gets the powers from the mask, but in this she gets it from being horrifically stabbed in the back by far too many needles for my liking. Ugh.
yeah. Ugh, it did definitely. was just painful to watch. I was like, oh, like I can't imagine how that must feel like. And I mean, she'll go through anything to get those powers because she feels like she can be a hero. She wants to
Well,
be it, right?
she's just that desperate to help people. Is kind of
I mean, she
it's
told Malcolm,
admirable.
right?
Yeah, like it's admirable and selfish at the same time.
It's very selfish because I feel like if you're a hero, you don't necessarily need to go through all that. You know,
Yeah, yeah, but but it's still, it's like, you're willing to put yourself through that to at least attempt to help others.
it's very selfish
She,
because you just want
she,
power so you can feel important.
but it's not because of her though. She doesn't want powers for her.
No, she wants to help people. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
that's why it's
selfishness
not.
out of wanting to do good. But there's like other. That's how you see villains be made sometimes, right? Some people want to do good, and somehow they end up being the villain. That's how you see villains be made sometimes. Don't you agree or no?
I'm just trying to think of a Syndrome from The Incredibles, and it's like he doesn't. Uh, it's kind of like Syndrome.
I mean, he's the epitome of that kind of trope, right? And I mean, we say trope, and we're not necessarily saying it in a bad way. Trope is just something we've seen.
We overuse the word.
Yeah, we overuse the word, but it's not a bad. It's not a derogatory term. It's not meant to be. Oh, this was a bad thing that happened. It's just a way to easily say that we've seen it a lot, and that's also not a bad thing. If you can just write it well, it doesn't matter if you've seen that a lot.
I mean, everyone's seen everything alone.
Yes, yeah,
But
exactly.
like, there is that bit of selfishness in her motivation. I don't think it's completely, or it's the majority selfish. I think it's more. I don't know. I kind of find it admirable. Like, she's willing to risk her life just at the possibility to get a chance that she could help people.
But
But at the same time,
she could do it without the powers.
Not necessarily, I suppose.
I mean,
Like, you name me one Netflix hero that doesn't have powers and that helps people.
it's true they all have powers,
Yeah.
but Rosario Dawson's character helps people. She doesn't have powers. Colleen Wing doesn't have power. She's just a really good fighter. Malcolm is definitely trying to help people. Doesn't have powers. Foggy doesn't have powers, and he's helping
sure,
people.
but like she's under that, from a child, she's lived with Jessica,
Yeah.
who's had powers,
and
has
she's
had
jealous.
she's had the ability to do. She can go above and beyond.
But Jessica doesn't want that. It is that she thinks she deserves
Yeah.
to be a better hero.
What was that? Is it a gift? Is it a curse?
I think it brings on that effect, and I don't think she'll be a villain, but that can lead to.
No, she's not. She's not going to be a villain.
No, she's gonna be a hero, and she's gonna cause some messes, and Jessica's be like, "You've never done this before. You don't know how to do it." Like, it's gonna lead to that type of stuff. But I'm definitely waiting for it.
Trish isn't like a slouch. She can fight.
No, we saw it in
know
season one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like she's incapable. No, and even in this season, she can do things other people can't. She's even got the money. And if she doesn't have a suit, I'll be upset. She can afford it. She can go to what's his face from Daredevil. She can get the Audacity.
It just reminds me of I need to rewatch the Marvel movies, but the first Avenger, right? Steve, he wasn't super big or anything like that, but he wanted to go help.
Yeah, it's a more real. What I find a more realistic version of Captain America.
What do you mean?
Well, like the whole, I'm the good, I'm the Boy Scout. It's not very realistic. People are assholes, and that's why the Netflix shows work.
I guess
because they're real people, they have real issues, and they are assholes, and it's just that it's that selfish drive. Cap is a very selfish person, but it's just more. It's more highlighted.
Is he selfish?
Of course he is.
Is jumping on a grenade selfish?
He was. How many times did he was literally trying to break the law and being fraudulent to get into the army. He's selfish. He was willing to put other people's lives at risk for his own sake to get into the army. He has toppled a government organization for one person. He's put our lives at risks for one person.
I mean, he's just trying to save the day.
How is he not selfish?
I mean, to be fair, we're both on the sides on Civil War of like you say that superheroes need the thing. I say no.
Yeah, I mean, to be like every hero in a sense is selfish.
Are they though? The epitome of so selfish.
No, it's not. They're all selfish.
Are they though? I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think
You
they
know,
literally risk their
right?
lives every day.
Yeah, but who then has to deal with that? They have to put the people close to them. You know, look at Foggy. Look what Matt's done to Foggy and Claire and everyone.
Also, side note:
It's selfish. Very
is
selfish.
Foggy going with Jerry, or is like he's staying with the partners?
No, Foggy left Murdoch and he went
No,
for
but
home.
I know, but is he leaving to go to her new firm,
I mean, I don't know.
or
He wasn't
or
in the
did he
show.
quit?
He was in the show for like 5 seconds. I
I
don't
did
think
love that they brought him up like that, and they didn't hype it up or anything. He's just in the show, like that makes
he.
sense. Yeah,
I mean, why wouldn't he be in the show?
yeah, he works for them. I mean, I've always said that sometimes you don't need to hype up cameos; they just happen.
Yeah, yeah. And it works because they've established it's a shared world.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of shared world, the first time they don't mention the incident
Oh,
and
yeah.
only the incident. They also name Captain America by name.
Yeah, because he has a little toy, right?
Or
Cute
even
as a toy.
before, like Jessica called him the flag waver.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, they name him by name. They mention the raft. So this whole, I think it was you last week who said like maybe it's like the time of the Netflix shows is shorter than the movies. It apparently isn't because
What do you
it's at
mean?
least. Well, they mentioned the raft,
Yeah,
so it can't be like the Netflix shows all take place in.
like within a year, right? Did I mention
Yeah,
that? I probably did. Yeah, that
I
makes
think you.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I
I think
probably
I
said that.
said.
It probably wasn't on this show though. It probably was somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, it's on this channel.
Yeah, but
Somewhere.
yeah, you're right. I probably that sounds like something I would say to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
yeah,
shame we didn't see the raft, to be honest. That would have been a nice little. But then again, how would they get out there and get back? It's not like they've got a Wakandan flying a jet over everything.
very true. Trying to think of what else I haven't seen because you love it way more than me, so you could probably think of way more stuff to
I
discuss.
mean, shout out to the Wizard and them sticking close to what the Wizard
Oh
is.
yeah, how did that's one I
Uh,
wanted to bring up real quick. How did you feel about the people claiming it's an Easter egg with the whole there's lizards dressed up in governments?
oh, what I'm saying, it's the scrolls.
Yeah, I
That's bollocks.
I wish it
It's
was.
it's literally it's no different to Jessica going, oh, Cloak and Dagger, and everyone going, oh my gosh, you say
Yeah,
Cloak and
yeah,
Dagger.
that's
It's
actually
like
really
Cloak and
stupid.
Dagger is a phrase.
Yeah,
She's not talking about the
I agree.
characters. It's like stop being a normie that everything has to be a fucking
Or
reference.
everything has to be connected, right?
Yeah, enough.
Yeah,
Like they can say words. Also, shout out to the Stanley cameo. Also had a Fabosh Man cameo.
he had a
So
cameo.
yeah, episode
I
9
did
at
not
the
see
but
him.
his face is on the side of a bus advertising Fabosh Man and Associates.
Oh, that's right. I thought you meant Stanley in general, but his face. No, I actually didn't get to see that.
You have to keep an eye out for it. If you don't know it's there, you
Yeah.
missed it.
What else? What else are we missing? I feel like we should be brought
They
up.
had the Wizard's Mongoose, so shout
Yeah,
out to Wizard's
all that. Yeah,
Mongoose. It's kind of a shame actually. I wanted the Wizard to be Wanda's dad, but it is what it is. They put the Wizard in now. It's fine. Kilgrave was used really well in this. I
yeah.
found.
I'm glad they didn't just like bring him back to life, or I mean, maybe his kid will like that'll be a season 3 thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I was at one point in this. I was like, "Oh, the Purple Children are going to be a thing." And it's like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
I had a really weird start watching this when I first put it on because it started playing the episode of season 1 where they put Kilgrave in that cell that Jessica has hidden away
Yeah.
with like the wood, like the water in the floor, and I'm like, oh, that's how they're bringing Kilgrave back. I didn't realize it was season 1. I thought that was just starting from there.
No,
And
give
I'm like,
like a yeah.
it's like, oh, they're going to do the whole thing of like it was all planned and it was his head manipulating everything, and he's actually still alive. He never died.
Oh, that'd be
And it's just
cool.
like. It's like, oh, hold on a minute, I'm watching the wrong season.
Yeah.
but no, he's dead.
Is Jessica more of a hero now?
No,
She's still kind of her, but she just wants to be normal.
she's just dipped her big toe in the pool of being normal.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is because this reminded me of a lot of I mean not Daredevil exactly, but Foggy got out of Matt's work and went to get his own like big job.
It's very
Malcolm.
much in line. It's more, I don't know. It's very much like Daredevil and Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
It's very similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar to what those two seasons done.
Okay.
For better or for worse, that's up to you to decide. I enjoyed it. Also,
Is
shout out to
Go.
Hogarth's arc. Actually, I
Yes.
enjoy. Like, she doesn't need to be there, but I'm glad she was. But
Yes. Will Trish get a costume?
if she doesn't, I'm writing. I'll be on that first plane from when we find out to wherever to New York. They film in New York, and I'll be demanding a suit.
Fun fact: the super was Wildcat on Arrow. They finally gave him a better role because he died in such an anticlimactic way.
Well, good for him. He stepped up in the world.
Definitely, because he died in such an anticlimactic way on Arrow, and they didn't even do anything really with him. They had his costume maybe once. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. Trying to see if there's anything else. Will.
Which was Will?
No, well, isn't it Will Sampson?
No, Simpson.
Simpson. I say Samson for some reason. Will we see Kilgrave and the children next season, you think?
I don't know because Jessica hasn't got a rogues gallery.
No, right?
Like, she has the Purple Man, but that wasn't necessarily hers. It was more given to her, and everyone else is just random, no names from the rest of Marvel. I really have no idea, especially after this season, what they've done with the mother. I have no idea what they could do for next season, and I kind of like that. That I've got no idea in what way they could go. It's probably more going to be. It might be similar to how I imagine Luke Cage going with the whole Heroes for Hire thing.
Yeah.
With Jessica and Trish.
Will we see more flashbacks similar to that one episode where we saw her boyfriend and how she got the alias thing and stuff like that? I think so, yes.
I'd imagine so.
Because that one part when Trish is in the bathroom with that guy and she walks in and then that guy's like calling Jessica the B word and all that. I was just like, now I get why she's always angry. And she annoyed. I would have pushed his head into that mirror, literally.
So just quickly, shout out to Rachel Taylor. She did that she sung that song and danced to it. Ooh. They actually shot a music video for that.
Really?
God awful song.
God, I was like, I mean, literally, it had no.
It's literally, I want your cray cray over and over again. It's a complete like satire on pop music and everything. It just works so.
You know, Gucci Gang. That's all he says in that song.
I mean, all she says is, "I want your cray cray."
Yeah. So.
Shout out to that. I was gonna say something. Just say, well done for letting these girls just bang random guys and not make you feel bad about it.
I mean, I feel bad for the guys because they're such idiots and such douchebags.
I mean, the self-esteem for them has got to be pretty low after Jessica because, she.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did bang a lot of people. I didn't even. You know what? I literally every time I saw Jessica met a new guy, I thought she was gonna bang him. I was like,
she kind of did.
Yeah. So I just didn't know how I feel about that. I was kind of like, and not even in terms of women thing. I was just like, but I guess that's the show.
It fits in with the character because obviously the first time she meets Luke, they're breaking her apartment and everything.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it wasn't like, oh, look at this, look at that. It's just like it just treated it normally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
whereas
normal.
Whereas most shows, it's kind of like, oh, you got to have the butt shot, you got to have this shot. It's like, no, it's just she's just getting plowed in the bathroom. No, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. I guess that'll. I'm trying to think of anything else. Did we miss anything?
We probably missed a lot, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, it was a long show. It was 13 episodes. Maybe it should have been 10. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't feel like this season had a low point.
There's one point that maybe would have been like. Oh.
I've seen people be like, "Oh, the first half's a bit of a drag," and then this half. I liked everything about it. Like,
I mean, I enjoyed it.
To me, it's still Jessica Jones still remains the top of these shows, and by a long way, especially this season because it's been the most consistent.
I probably would put this as the fourth best season.
Ooh.
Just because I like season 1 of Jessica and Daredevil's season 1 and 2 more. Like 2 would probably be. I think this is maybe season 2 of Daredevil. Like more than that, just maybe I like the character of Daredevil more. Not even the character, but the actor who plays Daredevil more.
I mean, he's a good actor. Yeah. I don't know. I found Daredevil season 2 a bit too disjointed. It should have been one or the other.
I agree. I agree to an extent. I just found it more. I like both of them, but I find that one more entertaining. They're both on me and just okay.
Yeah, I think I like the fact that it's focused on its main character, whereas like Daredevil season 2 was more focused on Elektra and Punisher than Matt.
It's true.
Like you had Matt who was in every episode, but its focus was split between that and obviously Iron Fist was Iron Fist. Punisher, less I say about that, probably the better. Yeah, I think that's like it's nice and consistent. It's constantly up for me. It's never like that.
You know, it definitely as we lead off, it definitely seems like the sidekicks to these heroes are going places. Foggy is a big time lawyer, as I said. Malcolm, big time PI. Colleen's probably gonna be a big time karate instructor. And then who was in Luke Cage?
She's the daughter of the dragon, isn't she?
Yeah, so there you go. And she's probably gonna open up big.
Luke Cage, you've got Misty Knight, who's more than likely gonna join up with Colleen because they are the daughter of the dragon.
Yeah, so you have that. I mean, the sidekicks, they don't wait for the hero.
No, the side characters in these shows are really strong.
Yeah, I say sidekicks. I don't know. It doesn't mean it in a bad way. I just supporting character. Yeah, supporting cast.
Or in Iron Fist case, probably what should have been the main character. Because she was far more.
I feel that show should have been better than it was.
It should have been better, but they had to rush out, didn't they?
I still don't know if it was the producer or was it just the actor. I don't know. I can't tell.
No, I don't
know if Finn Jones is a good Iron Fist. I also don't know if the story is what messed it up.
It's the script wasn't great, the direction wasn't great.
But we'll see, right? We'll see in season 2 if the story's better. We'll see if. Well, I mean, I guess they go hand in hand, right? If it's like a writer and an artist on a comic. If one is bad, the other might not be as good. If the story and the producers, the showrunner is bad, the actor might not look that good.
You know, like an actor's only as good as the amount of time he's been given.
Yeah.
And they did
give him any time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did rush Iron Fist out very quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
why I don't know. They had so much time.
Yeah,
so much time. I swear it's Daredevil season 2 that fucked everything up for that.
I hope we get Defender season 2. It deserves it.
Well, it says limited series on Netflix, and Kristen Ritter has said she doesn't know. But then again, I don't think actors really know what the suits are thinking. So. That's true. It was also the lowest rated or the lowest watched out of all of them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get one. But at the same time, you could maybe change the name up.
Yeah,
something like
the Defenders : something. Right.
Give it Champions.
Or Champions, something like that. All right, I think that's gonna be it. Any last words? You want to?
No. I just really enjoyed it. I could quite easily sit here and watch it all over again.
Okay, I'm still on.
I'm probably going to watch season 1 and season 2 in a row. So.
I need to rewatch season 1. I think it's just I really love Kilgrave, which is weird that I just love that character.
He's a really good villain. It's Tennant. That's all it is. If it was anyone other but Tennant, it would.
Look, man, I'm the guy who likes Ward and Kilgrave.
Yeah, I mean everyone likes Kingpin as well. Like.
I don't know. I remember.
How do you have that reaction to Kingpin? Oh, you're one of these. Like, oh no, he killed his dad. It's like, well, Kilgrave tried to kill his parents.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Inconsistent.
Remember we had this conversation when I first talked about season 1 where I said I like Kilgrave and everything he had, and then Kingpin, I was like, yeah, he didn't have to do that.
Well, Kilgrave didn't have to try or tell his mother to stab herself. And
real quick, has there ever been a hero that has the powers of Kilgrave? No,
I don't know.
Probably not. That's something to think about.
There probably has been. I can't think.
No, it's usually a villain or an anti-hero.
Yeah.
There's never a hero. All right. That. We'll see y'all next time.
Actually, no. I suppose Charles Xavier.
I guess so.
It's kind of similar to
that. That's
Persuasion.